Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time to take a look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. And first with me is the Nation newspaper. Why Aiyedatiwa secured total victory in governorship election. APC candidates win in all 18 councils. PDP rejects results. Tinubu Ganduje governors hail victory. And then Nigeria, India to deepen trade, military partnership. Tinubu awards GCON to Indian Prime Minister. Obasanjo's comment on Tinubu mischievous, says Afenifere chief. Above the nameplate, NDDC to pump 1.9 trillion naira into 1006 legacy project. How to tackle rising food crisis by experts. Olubadan asks Sultan to continue promoting religious tolerance. JAM begins accreditation of centers for 2025 UTME. On the bottom strip, APC clears all council chairmanship seats in Ogun. This Nigeria is next. Ondo, how Aiyedatiwa of APC knocked out PDP's Agbola to clinch Guba seat. Opposition rejects results. We worked assiduously to achieve success, says Sanwo-Olu, APC election campaign chair. 3,767 killed, 22,373 others injured in auto crashes nationwide, FRC. Troops recover arms, seize stolen crude oil, deactivate criminal boats in the Niger Delta. Nigeria-India reinforce strategic partnership as Tinubu confers GCON on Modi. Next is Salient Times. Reactions as Aiyedatiwa wins Ondo Governorship election by landslide. PDP rejects outcome, calls for review, go to court if dissatisfied, Tinubu tells PDP others. Plot to capture Oyo, Osun on course, Ganduje. Let's build Ondo State together, Aiyedatiwa to opposition parties. NDLEA intercept hard drugs concealed in food items. Arrest masterminds at MMIA, Abuja hotels. Revenue collector crushed to death in Lagos. Labour Party suspends Enugu senator over alleged anti-party insubordination. APC sweeps Ogun local government poll, wins all chairmanship seats. Opposition condemns exercise. And then above the masthead, some individuals are frustrating Nigerian government's efforts to end insurgency. CDS Musa. You're peddling economic fantasies. Purge yourself of petty politics. Ononuga slams Atiku. And Tinubu to attend G20 Leaders Summit in Brazil. Nigerian News Direct is next. Hashtag Ondo decides 2024. Aiyedatiwa trounces Ajayi. Others clears all 18 local government areas as PDP picks. This mandate is yours. I won't disappoint you. Aiyedatiwa hails Ondo people. And then PDP rejects Ondo election results. Accuses APC of vote buying manipulation. Court bars NBC from imposing fines, intimidating broadcast stations. Tinubu confers national honor on Indian Prime Minister. 8th Energy Summit to address technological innovation in oil, gas sector. Solwant GMD. Next is New Telegraph newspaper. Ondo Guba, Aiyedatiwa polled 366,781 votes to emerge winner. That's according to INEC. Court stops NBC from threatening imposing fines on media houses. Then above the nameplate, CBN letters of credit payments fall 52.5% to $506.06 million. Next is Blueprint newspaper. Let's build Ondo State together. Aiyedatiwa tells Ajayi others. That's him talking saying after my victory. Ghana's 366,781 votes to floor PDP candidate with 117,835. Tinubu, APC, others hail victory. PDP kicks. 2025 budget, MTEF and FSP tax reform bills top agenda as National Assembly resumes. Sultan urges brotherliness, says Nigeria's unity not negotiable. Keep promoting religious harmony. Olubadan charges NSCIA leader. Concerns as Nigeria's debt set to hit for the $5.1 billion in 2024. Over $300 billion investment attracted to free zones in January 2024, NESA. Next is Nigerian Tribune. With landslide victory in Ondo, APC says Oyo, Osun next target. Aiyedatiwa wins all 18 local government areas, dedicates victory to Akeredolu, secures 366,781 votes. Then CUPP go to court. Tinubu tells aggrieved candidates. Also, above the nameplate, Akinyemi Mogalu congratulates Tribune at 75. Also, development spending threatened as states owe contractors billions of naira. The Punch newspaper is next. Aiyedatiwa's victory. INEC, PDP disagree over alleged fraud in Ondo poll. Opposition says election worst in history. And then INEC, APC defend results. Tinubu, governors hail Aiyedatiwa. Also, we have Mpox vaccination begins in 7 states today. Next is, on the ear of the newspaper, top doctors strike threatens operations in 83 federal hospitals. Next is leadership newspaper. Elections, CSOs seek improvement on disability inclusion. As Tinubu, Buhari, others hail Aiyedatiwa's victory in Ondo. We are reviewing governorship outcome, that's according to PDP, results consistent with our PRVT findings, Yaga Africa. Federal government douses tension, says tax reform to ensure equitable VAT sharing. Nasima petitions federal government over NIBC India's operations. Mina Chief Imam dies at 93. Kebbi government denies illegal mining allegation. Ex-NIA DG Zakari Ibrahim dies at 81. Ribadu leads delegation to Chad President Derby. And also military pounds, terrorists planning attack on troops. Next is First News newspaper, and the last with me. Reforming Nigeria's democracy. Obasanjo calls for immediate dismissal of INEC chairman. Pushes for reshuffle following election failures. APC's Aiyedatiwa wins Ondo Governorship election. Ned Nwoko calls for ban on foreign currency use in Nigeria. Lakurawa must be eliminated for Sokoto farmers to survive. Afan Chair. JAM begins CBT Center accreditation for 2025. On the bottom strip, Tinubu heads to Brazil for G20 Leaders Summit. Ondo poll result, go to court. Tinubu tells aggrieved parties. Well, Olamide, it's next to you.
Right, I have with me here the Platform Times, and the big story here is Obasanjo blames Buhari, Tinubu for Nigeria's failure, demands sack of INEC leadership. And the image here, Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, along with some fellow state governors and members of the campaign council, celebrating the election victory in a situation room in Ondo State. Labour Party rejects Ogun local government election result, alleges rigging, vows legal action. And in Ogun State, the government budgets over 200 million naira for local government polls amidst disenfranchisement violence. In Benue, soldiers, 4 others reportedly killed by suspected cultists in Benue State. Southwest Muslims warn Tinubu food importation will not solve Nigeria's economic woes. Continue promoting religious tolerance. Olubadan urges the Sultan of Sokoto. I'm not aware people bought vote on my behalf. Aiyedatiwa is reacting as he secures a landslide victory in Ondo governorship election. Some stories on the front page of the Platform Times. To Daily Trust, President Imam as Obasanjo IMF slam Tinubu's reforms. Nigeria under state capture. Ex-president says initiatives confronted by adjustment fatigue. IMF is quoted as saying. On the power outage, small businesses turn to alternative energy. Options costly deplete capital. That's according to traders and artisans. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria's exporters tasked the federal government on green electricity. And of course, APC retains Ondo as Aiyedatiwa elected governor of the state. The major stories on the front page of Daily Trust, the Voice of Liberty. The World Bank has uncovered $32 million missing funds in Nigeria's water projects. Court stops NBC from imposing fines, threatening sanctions on broadcast stations. Tinubu departs for Brazil for G20 Leaders Summit. Reduce suffering in Nigeria. Southwest Muslims urge the president. Oshun Oyor are next targets. Ganduje says on APC's victory. Nigeria's reforms not working. IMF report is quoted as saying. The major stories on the front page of The Voice of Liberty. Let's go to Daily Independent. On the 2025 budget, borrowing $2.2 billion will worsen Nigeria's debt burden. Experts are saying, as they say, borrowing will be stumbling block to economic recovery. Nigeria, India seal deal on counter-terrorism, maritime security orders. CBN urged to look beyond banks and fight against Naira abuse. On Ondo election, go to court. If dissatisfied with outcome, Tinubu tells the PDP orders. The CUPP faults the process, says election not credible. This is the worst election conducted by INEC. PDP says APC will remain in power for a very long time. That's according to Ganduje. Aiyedatiwa waves olive branch, dedicates victory to Akeredolu. Meanwhile, JAM begins center accreditation for 2025 UTME. Let's go to Daily Times. The World Bank uncovers $32 million missing from Nigeria's water projects. Tinubu confers GCON on Indian Prime Minister Modi's sale bilateral deal. After Fintiri, Adamawa will be far better than what it is. The major stories on the front page of the Daily Times. To The Guardian. Leveraging shared history, Nigeria, India to expand $7.9 billion trade ties. That's a picture story there showing the president with the Prime Minister of India shortly after the conferment of Nigeria's second highest national honor on the Prime Minister at the Villa yesterday. Aiyedatiwa retains it as Tinubu tells the PDP orders to go to court. Islamic scholars decry rising sexual gender violence in the north. Lasso CMD seeks a review of abortion laws in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the House is meeting with President Tinubu on tax reform bills. On the COP29, Nigeria advocates collaborative approach to decarbonization. Some stories on the front page of The Guardian. To The Inquirer, Abuja governance structure undemocratic. FCT natives are quoted as saying they want an alternative administrative system, and they're saying that the FCT minister are autocrats. 16,614 teachers sit for TRCN's professional qualifying exams. Falano is being sentimental, Wiki is saying, as regards the judges' quarters incident. Some stories on the front page of The Inquirer. To The national economy, on fuel subsidy removal, good policy, wrong approach. Any board of economists are quoted as saying, and there's a report here showing Nigeria's role in global exchange. NTAA bans pilots from working for multiple airlines, and Nigeria's domestic debt stock rises to 66.957 trillion in the first quarter of 2024. The major stories on the front page of The National Economy. To The Nature News. Critics warn of growing fossil fuel influence at the COP29. Dilemma over climate destiny as Vakushop COP29 enters the last lap. Group berates wealthiest nations' action on a climate crisis. Well, the major stories on the front page of The Nature News. And finally, in sporting life, on Nigeria versus Rwanda Eagles go for victory despite securing ticket. Okoye returns aside Samuel to start. Osimhen set to overtake Odegbami's record. Igwevo, not sure of Eagles' future, says, I do not know if today will be my last game. And the NFF promised Eagles 10% of outstanding money. It's interesting. The major stories on the front page of the newspapers this morning, Ibrahim.
Well, so it's so clear.